1 in 3. That's how many American men will face physical violence, sexual assault, or stalking by an intimate partner. 1 in 3 women worldwide will endure physical or sexual abuse, most often by someone they know. But domestic abuse isn't just bruises. It's manipulation, it's fear, it's control that seeps into every part of your life. I'm Ingrid Dutton, and I survived it. Then I created 1 in 3 so no one else has to suffer in silence. Each week, we break that silence together. Occasionally joined by survivors, loved ones, and experts, we talk about the pain, yes, but also about the healing, resilience, and the fight to reclaim your life. This podcast is more than awareness, it's a lifeline. And a reminder, you are seen, you are heard, you are never alone. Search for 1 in 3 wherever you get your podcasts, because every voice matters and every story deserves to be heard. Fables feature animals given human characteristics and deliver a lesson or moral. Folk tales are stories which are typically passed on by word of mouth and have people as main characters that sometimes include feats of strength. The main difference between folk tales and fables is that fables always teach a moral lesson to the readers, but not all folk tales have a moral.
And what we have found is that fables and folk tales are passed down and are specific to each location, but they may have similarities with other regions around the world. Sister.
Hi, welcome back.
Welcome back. No, that's not quite how that song goes.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome. Whoa. Hello, throat. I'm not even sick this time. Hello, scratch throat.
Okay, everybody take note. This is the one episode that Jessica is not sick.
And most likely will not cry. So, hi, everybody. We missed you.
Hopefully you guys missed us too.
It's okay.
But y'all have been listening because we are over 2,000 downloads, guys.
Woohoo!
Yay! Thank you.
Celebrate good times. Come on.
Okay, this is our karaoke episode.
I have only had 2 sips of wine, so that is the extent of the karaoke. So obviously, as in the intro, I'm Jessica.
I know. I was about to say you were forgetting an important part.
I know. I always do.
I'm Ingrid.
And this is another situation.
Why do you sound like this is like Unsolved Mysteries?
Because that was one of my favorite shows, maybe. That is my background in podcasting. I go off of crime shows.
Well, anyway, as Jessica was saying, this is another situation. Which, if you haven't figured it out by now, it's a podcast. If you haven't figured it out, you may need to have somebody talk to you
about what you're doing with your phone or computer or whatever technological device.
If you're talking using. Back to us, we're this is not a phone call.
Can't hear you. And if you think it's the radio, nope. Don't change the station.
Don't call in.
Nope. There's 1-800. I don't know. Speaking of,
there are no prizes to win.
I do want to throw something out there because it is near and dear to my heart. So the National Suicide Hotline changed over to 988 this weekend. The 1-800-827-825 1-800-827-8290. Oh, I forgot it. Okay.
867-5309.
Jenny. I have a crisis line in my card in my purse. I could probably go look at it. So the 800 number still works, but now you can dial 988. And if you are a veteran or a military member, press 1 to get to the Veterans Crisis Line. Otherwise, all other callers could just dial 988.
Why do you sound like an auto attendant right now?
Because I've had to do a lot of trainings on that lately.
You crack me up how you say 9.
How did I say 9?
I don't know. It sounded like you were about to say 9er.
9er, 8er, 8er.
Listen, everybody's going to want us to take a week off all the time after this.
I have to admit, as much as I do enjoy doing this with you, it was kind of nice having 2 weeks off.
It was, but I feel super rusty right now.
I do too.
And all we do is talk into a microphone.
Everybody. And okay, as we said in the intro, we're covering fables and folklores. And so I think we talked about it a couple episodes ago about how I was trying to tell my daughter the fables that our mom used to tell us.
Yes. Quickly before you get into that, because I did put a note down, speaking of a couple episodes ago. So this is episode number 30. Hey, happy number 30.
Is it really? Dirty 30.
So this would have been episode number 28 was the Charlie Ross. So at one point I said Charlie Rose instead of Charlie Ross, and I just wanted to correct that, which I don't remember that, but I wrote it down on my little notebook here and as something that I wanted to say.
I didn't catch you doing that at all during or when I listened to it.
I don't know how I caught it because I usually don't pay attention.
Charlie Ross.
Charlie Ross. Anyway, you were saying mom folk something.
Oh, so that's how we decided to do this episode of fables and folklores and folk tales, whatever. Yeah. So I have 4. I have 3 plus the 2 mom talked about, but those I think I tell in like a minute.
Okay.
Should we start off with the ones that we grew up on?
I was going to say, I think we should start with mom's.
Okay. So mom has 2 of them, and I wrote down a brief history of one.
I like that it's mom and it's not the Philippines.
So the one, I actually didn't find the one. So there's 2 that our mom used to tell us, one about a monkey and a turtle and another how the ocean got its salt. And so the one, do you not remember that one?
I don't remember that one.
So that one I Googled, and there's like 5 different versions of it, but the one in the Philippines is not the one I quite remember mom telling me. So there's 2 versions of it about how there was a giant that lived in a cave, and the ocean did not have salt in it at all. It was just fresh water. And the people lived on the other side of like this pathway of water. A waterway. They lived on the other side. Waterway. Oh boy, this is going to be a long one. Goodness. And so they needed to get more salt. And so they asked the giant to put his legs over the waterway so that people could climb over and get the salt from his caves. And he said, yes, absolutely. So he put his leg over, and his leg landed in a pile of ants, and the ants were bothering him so much. And he's like, people, hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. And so the people hurried up and got to his cave, his side of the land, and got the salt from the cave. And then on the way back, the giant put his leg down again, and this time again in the ant pile, and the ants were biting him. And he's like, hurry up. Like, I'm not going to be able, like, cause it was tickling him. And I think it was hurting him, like maybe little fire ants. And so the people, they couldn't go as fast as they could on the way there because they were carrying the heavy bags of salt. So the giant had to drop his leg down, and all of the salt bags went into the water. And the giant saved the people, but he couldn't save any of the salt. And that's how the ocean got salty. However, that is like the main version. It's all over Asia. Like there's Chinese, Japanese, Filipino, and, there's a whole bunch of different versions of this. But the one I remember mom telling me is that there was a guy, and I vaguely remember this. So I really wish he could have been on here, and I couldn't find it duplicated anywhere. But there was a guy in a boat that was making salt. It was like a mill that would make salt, and he was in a boat for some reason. And I think he was trying to cross the waterway. Well, the boat sank, and the mill sank to the bottom of the ocean, still churning out salt because he couldn't turn the salt off. And so that's how the ocean became salty. Yeah.
Weird.
It's super weird.
I thought the giant was going to start crying or something, and that would have like salty tears.
No, it was the salt from his cave. So the one about the monkey and the turtle, you remember this one, right?
I do.
Okay. So I can't quite remember how she started it. So there was a monkey and a turtle, And the turtle was floating down the water and he had a banana tree in his mouth. And the monkey saw him and he's like, hey, turtle, come on, bring that banana tree out and we'll plant it. So the turtle's like, all right, monkey, let's go. So the turtle gets out of the water and the monkey's like, how about we each take half of the banana tree? And the turtle's like, okay, sounds great. The monkey, thinking he was being bright and smart, decided to take the top half of the tree because it had the fronds and it was green and it looked beautiful. So he planted that in the ground. And obviously the tree died because it had no roots. And the turtle was a little upset. He's like, oh man, I got the bottom of the tree. Like it's ugly looking, whatever. So he planted it and he took care of it. And then eventually it grew into a big banana tree with the fronds and the bananas. Well, the turtle runs into the monkey again. He's like, hey, monkey, how's your turtle? Or, hey, monkey, how's your banana tree?
I just would like to point out that you're going first. So there's no excuse of you having too much wine by now.
This is true. So the turtle goes, monkey, how's your tree? The monkey was so sad. He's like, oh, my tree died. I had to move on. And then the monkey sees the turtle's trees. And he's like, oh, your tree's doing great. And the turtle's like, I know, but I can't reach the bananas up there because I can't climb the tree. Monkey's like, oh, no problem, man. I'll go climb the tree and get them for you. So he goes up there and he starts eating all the bananas and throwing the banana peels at the turtle. Like so mean. So the turtle is like, you know what? I'm going to get you. And he planted a thorn bush all around the bottom of the banana tree. So when the monkey had to come back down, he would run into the thorn bush. So the monkey ate all the good bananas. And then when he was full, he decided to slide back down on the tree and landed on the thorns. Well, that made the monkey really, really mad. And so the monkey goes to the turtle. He's like, I'm going to take you and I'm going to bash you up against a rock. And the turtle's like, no, please don't, please don't. And then the monkey's like, okay, I'm going to take you and I'm going to throw you into the fire pit in the volcano. And the turtle's like, oh, please no, please no. And then the turtle's like, those are really scary and please don't do them. But please, please, please never throw me into the water. He's like, I am terrified of the water. Please do not do it. And the monkey goes, oh, really? So that's what you're scared of? I'm going to throw you in the water. So he throws the monkey in the river and the turtle sinks all the way down to the bottom and he floats back up. And he's like, ha ha, monkey, I can swim.
Okay, so he threw him into a pathway of water.
Or a river.
But I thought it was when he said like all the different things and I didn't remember that it was a volcano and it was a rock. But I thought it was when he said, I'm going to bash you into the rock. The turtle said, oh, haha, that's fine. Do that. My shell's so hard. It can't do anything to me.
He might have. Because I read so many different versions of this. So there's also this, I guess, fable. Its origins are actually Ilocano, which is where our mom is from. And it was made popular by Jose Rizal. I guess he was a Filipino author, and he wrote it. He drew pictures and wrote it in a book and passed it down. So the actually his version of it, which I think is like the real version that mom didn't want to tell us because it's a little gruesome. This is the ending to that one. Okay, so the turtle's up in the tree eating the bananas, monkey's down at the bottom, and this is what happens next. Please give me something to eat, called the turtle, but the monkey threw him only a green one and ate all the ripe ones himself. When he had eaten all the good bananas, the monkey stretched his arms around the tree and went to sleep. The turtle, seeing this, was very angry and considered how he might punish the thief. Having decided on a scheme, he gathered some sharp bamboo, which he had all around the tree, and he exclaimed, crocodile's coming, crocodile's coming. The monkey was so startled at the cry that he fell down on the sharp bamboo and was killed. Then the turtle, sorry, I wish you guys could see Ingrid's face. Then the turtle cut the dead monkey into pieces and dried it in the sun. The next day, he went to the mountains and sold his meat to the other monkeys, who gladly gave him squash in return. As he was leaving them, he called back, lazy fellows, you are now eating your own body. You are now eating your own body. Then the monkeys ran and caught him and carried them to their own home. Let us take a hatchet, said one old monkey, and cut him into very small pieces. But the turtle laughed and said, that is just what I like. I have been struck with a hatchet many times. Do you not see the black scars on my shell? Then one of the other monkeys said, let us throw him into the water. At this, the turtle cried and begged them to spare his life, but they paid no heed to his pleadings and threw him into the water. He sank to the bottom, but very soon came up with a lobster. The monkeys were greatly surprised at this and begged him to tell how to catch lobsters. I tied one end of a string around my waist, said the turtle. To the other end of the string, I tied a stone so that I would sink. The monkeys immediately tied strings around themselves, as the turtle said, and when all was ready, they plunged into the water, never to come up again. And to this day, monkeys do not like to eat meat because they remembered this ancient story. Isn't that so dark?
Well, okay, so now that you said that, I do remember the cutting the turtle into pieces. Like the monkey threatened to cut him into pieces, and he said, haha, that's fine, because each piece will grow into another turtle.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those are the ones we grew up on.
Well, a lot of fables and folklore and folk tales have a lot of gruesome parts to it.
That's true. Well, so the moral of that fable was supposed to be, try to be cunning and quick like a monkey, better to be slow and think things through and have wisdom like a turtle.
So it's like the turtle and the hare.
No, it's like cunning and manipulation versus wisdom.
But there's a turtle. So it's like the turtle and the hare.
But there's no. But in the intro, how we were saying like there's similarities. So over, I can't remember which country. I think it was Japan. They have a version of a crab and a monkey. And the crabs, it's so morbid. The crabs like pinch the monkey and cut him into pieces with their pinchers. I know. So crazy.
Goodness. Okay. So I have 4 and you have
3 now.
3 more. Okay. So how about I do 2? You do 3, I do 2?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So I'm going to actually start. So I decided I was doing so much Googling and trying to figure out where I want what region I wanted to get these from. And then
Were you doing all the Googles?
All the Googles. And I decided, you know what? Why don't I do Native American folklore?
That's exciting.
Yes. And then I thought, my goodness, I know someone that may be able to share a story with us. So anyway, I messaged Jody Greendeer from Wisconsin, and she says hi, by the way.
Hi, Jody.
So, I mean, how awesome is this? I messaged her at 10:47, and I thought there's no way she's going to be able to send me something by tonight. And at 12:53, she sent a lovely one. Awesome. So, yeah, here goes. Once upon a time, they say there were 7 sacred women. They were highly revered and held a special place in their village, so much so that they had warriors assigned just to protect them. Nearby, there lived an evil man who wanted their blood for his poisons and dark medicine. He chased them many times, but the warriors were always able to get them away from him. One time, he finally tricked the warriors and cornered the sacred women. They were almost in his grasp when the Creator looked down and took pity on them. He took the women and threw them into the sky where they would forever be safe from danger, and they became the stars people now know as the Big Dipper. The story does not end there, for back in the village there was a young man who had fallen in love with one of the women, and she had fallen in love with him. He was heartbroken to the point that he went to the woods to die from his pain. He did not eat or drink and was nearly gone when a thunder took pity on him. He told the man that he could rejoin his love if first he could beat a giant in a race. The man sought out the help of the only other man to ever beat a giant before, and they trained together until they went to the giant's village to challenge them. The race took days, and it was close until the very end when the man was able to defeat the fastest of the giants. After defeating him in the race, the man walked to the nearby tree line. There was a flash of lightning, and he was gone. On a clear night, if you look to the sky and can see the Big Dipper, you can see the 7 sacred women. If you look closely at the second star in the handle, you will see there are actually 2 stars there. There you will see the sacred woman and the man who love each other and who will be together for eternity.
I'm going to have to look at that. I've never noticed that.
I know. I love that story. Thank you, Jody, so much for that super quick response. And she also told me not to use anything online because they're not accurate. But for some reason, I didn't see that part of the message until just now. So I did look online. So what I did is I went to look up Native American folklore, and I decided to try to find tribes that were indigenous to Wisconsin, Tennessee, and Texas. So
Chippewa?
that is exactly what I used for Wisconsin. Apparently, they're also Tennessee.
What about Choctaw for Texas?
I actually used Comanche.
Oh, okay.
So we'll start with Tennessee because you didn't mention them.
Sorry.
So this is from the Shawnee tribe, and this is called Thunder Sun. And I suppose I'll give the little lesson at the end. It has it here at the beginning, but long, long ago, there was a woman who lived alone at the edge of her village. This young woman, and I'm sorry, I got these from nativelanguages.org. Okay, so starting over. Long, long ago, there was a woman who lived alone at the edge of her village. This young woman washed and combed her long brown hair with oils from animals, and her body was plump with their meat. She carried heavy chopped wood to her home alone, nurturing her strength every day. Her skin was smooth as corn silk, for she washed in the cold river water, also known as a pathway of water.
Stop.
I can't. Only once in a great while. Her clothes were washed in the river and left to dry while lying on the bushes in the hot sun. She was beautiful. She knew she was beautiful. She was too beautiful to have just any man. She stayed by herself with her own admiration. She worked alone in the cornfields and returned, noticing her reflection in the water baskets that she carried. She lived alone in her beauty. Then one day she met a man. This man was like no one she had ever known. His strength shone in his deep, piercing brown-black eyes. This man had followed her from the river back to her home. His long black hair flew behind him as he walked beside her. He took the water baskets from her hands. His sleek, muscular body rippled as he walked beside her. I feel like this is a what's
Nora Roberts.
There, thank you. I couldn't think of her name.
Okay.
50 Shades of Grey.
50 Shades of Fables.
There you go. Oh. His power echoed with his long stride. The feathers tied in his hair lifted with each step. His voice echoed through the air as he spoke. Maiden, let me help you with your water carrying. Let me invite you to my home to meet my family. She followed him. She would not look into his eyes, yet she smiled. He walked beside her to his mother's Wegaba?
Oh
no.
How do you spell it?
Wegiwa.
Wigwa.
Wegaba. Hey, Jody.
Are you trying to say wigwam?
Nope, it's not wigwam.
Okay.
Please message me for anything I mispronounce. And,
correct her, please.
And please message me if these are the bad stories from the internet you were telling me not to get.
Oh, goodness.
That I did not see until 10:30 p.m. Okay. He introduced her to his two sisters, and they asked her to remain. She stayed with these people, for they appreciated her and needed her company. She accepted this strong man as her man and became one of them. Her man would go out hunting all day while the women worked in the fields. He brought home plenty of meat, for he was an excellent hunter. The women were magical in their growing of corn, so there was always much cornbread, corn stew, and cornmeal. Sounds so delicious.
It does. Yes, it does.
Life was good in this way. One day, the man came back later than usual, his hands bloody with cuts, his hair tangled in snarls, his moccasins torn. He told his story. The hunt this day was difficult. The deer was quick. I shot and only wounded it. I prayed and followed it, but the deer ran into the sacred stream and ate plants that heal. Then it rolled in the sacred mud, and the wound disappeared. I knew that I was not to kill this one. I returned to the hunting field, and I knew the stag would be the one killed. It was a fine deer with horns of great honor and sleekness of spirit. Then the stag leapt over the hedge and was gone. I was fast and agile and soon found the tracks leading over the edge of a high cliff. But I did not notice the cliff, only the tracks. My body was badly bruised, hands cut, legs ripped as I freed myself from the hedge of thorns that saved me. I limped home without meat. He was tired. He lay down on his bedroll with his head on his beautiful woman's lap. She stroked his hair, feeling the weariness of his spirit. She noticed that his body was transforming. His breathing slowed as he turned into a gigantic snake. The beautiful woman felt the hair she was stroking shrink into scales that covered his head. She carefully inched her way out from under his massive fanged head to escape outside. His mother saw this woman's fearful expression. We are serpent people. We are good and wish you well. My son truly loves you. Yet if you feel you can no longer stay here, then you should run away. But go quickly, for if my son wakes and knows that you have run from him, he will try to find you and bring you back. Run, run, and go quickly. Do not look back. The beautiful woman ran. Her legs moved quickly at first. Then, as she thought about her good man, his kindness, his abilities, she slowed. Her mind argued with her heart. She sat down to rest. She was tired and decided to close her eyes and pray. She had a dream. She dreamt her pride was what brought her to this problem and that her wisdom would get her home. She awoke in a thunderstorm. Thunder Spirit called to her and the deep rolling voice was deafening. She jumped with her hands over her ears. The great voice echoed across the land. Run, run, run. The snake man is behind you. He shall catch you. The beautiful woman ran with a fear of her soul pounding in her head. She heard the terrible rustling of the serpent man. She let her legs move across the mountains, and soon she came to a lake near her home. There, standing around the lake, were 3 handsome men. The tallest put out his hand, telling her to stop. He lifted his long, shining spear at the serpent, threw it, and pierced the snake. All at once, a roaring black cloud surrounded the 3 men. The tallest spear thrower was a Thunderman. The Thundermen took the woman to their father's home on an island. She married the 3rd son, who was kind, quiet, and thoughtful. She gave birth to a son. The boy grew strong and used his thunder well. The woman asked Thunderfather if she could go home for a visit and take her son with her to meet her people. Thunder told her she could take her son as long as he never used arrows. His son's arrows would turn into lightning and destroy people. The woman agreed. At first, their life went well. Thunder Boy was quiet and stayed close to his mother. The other children stayed away from him, for they did not know him. Then they began to jeer at him and laugh at him, saying he did not know how to use an arrow or a bow. This made Thunder Boy very angry. He took a bow and an arrow and shot wide. It hit some trees and started a terrible fire. His grandfather swooped down and carried the boy to the sky, where he is unable to hurt men. The woman stayed with her people. She lives alone and works with other women. Her beauty is no longer of interest to her, and she warns others to look into the heart for beauty. For the day the serpent was pierced, her heart was pierced also. And the
moral of the story?
Moral, thank you, is look into the heart for beauty.
So she really loved the serpent and didn't love the thunder god?
I suppose.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to do your 2?
I have 3. But they're not as long as yours. And let's see, 2 are Zulu and 1 is a Nigerian one. So mine come from Africa. This is called Why the Cheetah's Cheeks Are Stained. Okay.
Are they?
I guess, just listen, my dear sister.
Oh, cheetahs. Cheetahs. Okay.
So I got the information from briefly.co.za, which actually it also leads you to canteach.ca. So I did Canadian and ZA, Zimbabwe. I don't know what the ZA stands for. Long ago, a wicked and lazy hunter was sitting under a tree. He was thinking that it was too hot to be bothered with the arduous task of stalking prey through the bushes. Below him in the clearing on the grassy veld, there were fat springbok grazing. I'm not sure what that animal is.
Okay.
I want to say water buffalo, but I don't know for sure. But this hunter couldn't be bothered because he was so lazy. He gazed at the herd, wishing that he could have the meat without the work, when suddenly he noticed a movement off to the left of the buck. It was a female cheetah seeking food. Keeping downwind of the herd, she moved closer and closer to them. She singled out a springbok who had foolishly wandered away from the rest. Suddenly, she gathered her long legs under her and sprang forward. With great speed, she came upon the springbok and brought it down. Startled, the rest of the herd raced away as the cheetah quickly killed her prey. The hunter watched as the cheetah dragged her prize to some of the shade on the edge of the clearing. There, 3 beautiful cheetah cubs were waiting there for her. The lazy hunter was filled with envy for the cubs and wished that he could have such a good hunter provide for him. Imagine dining on a delicious meat every day without having to do the actual hunting. Then he had a wicked idea. He decided that he would steal one of the cheetah cubs and train it to hunt for him. He decided to wait until the mother cheetah went to the water hole, aka pathway of water, late in the afternoon to make his move.
Well, wouldn't that be a crater of water?
Technically, I guess it would be. When the sun began to set, the cheetah left her cubs concealed in a bush and set off to the water hole. The water hole? Sorry, that's all I think of. Simba, Lion King.
Oh.
Let's go to the water hole. The water hole.
Oh, my.
Anyways, quickly the hunter grabbed a spear and trotted down to the bushes where the cubs were hidden. Then he found the 3 cubs, still young, too young to be frightened of him or to run away. He first chose one, then decided upon another, then changed his mind again.
Again.
Shush. Finally, he stole them all. He took all the babies, thinking to himself that 3 cheetahs would undoubtedly be better than one. Oh my gosh. Oh, goodness. Okay. When their mother returned, undoubtedly, I still can't say it. Can you say it?
Undoubtedly.
No.
Undoubtedly.
Undoubtedly. You're right. I'm adding too much to it. Okay. When their mother returned, half an hour later, and found her babies gone, she was brokenhearted. The poor mother cheetah cried and cried until her tears made dark stains down her cheeks. She wept all night and into the day. She cried so loudly that she was heard by an old man who came to see what the noise was all about. Now, this old man, he was wise and he knew the ways of the animals. When he discovered what the wicked hunter had done, he became very angry. The lazy hunter was not only a thief, he had broken the traditions of the tribe. Everyone knew that a hunter must only use his own strength and skill. Any other way of hunting was surely a dishonor. The old man returned to the village and told the elders what had happened. The villagers became angry. They found the lazy hunter and drove him away from the village. The old man took the 3 cheetah cubs back to their grateful mother. The long weeping of the mother cheetah stained her face forever. Today, the cheetah wears the tear stains on its face as a reminder to the hunters that it is not honorable to hunt in any other way than that which is traditional.
Oh.
So I think the moral of that story is don't be lazy, do your job. And I think that's it.
Don't have 3 cubs. That's too many to watch after.
Don't leave your babies alone in a bush. Let's blame it on the cheetah.
That's a good one too. Victim blaming. Let's do it again.
All right. So this one I got from World of Tales, and it is Why the Moon Waxes and Wanes. And this one is the Nigerian one. Okay. It's not as long as the other one. Actually, neither of mine are. So there was once an old woman who was very poor and lived in a small mud hut thatched with mats made from the leaves of the tambo palm in the bush. She was often very hungry as there was no one to look after her. In the olden days, the moon used often to come down to the earth, although she lived most of the time in the sky. The moon was a fat woman with a skin of hide, and she was full of fat meat. She was quite round, and in the day used to give plenty of light. The moon was sorry for the poor, starving old woman, so she came to her and said, "You may cut some of my meat away for your food." This is the old woman did every evening, and the moon got smaller and smaller until you could scarcely see her at all. Of course, this made her give very little light, and all the people began to grumble in consequence and to ask why the moon was getting so thin. At last, the people went to the old woman's house where there happened to be a little girl sleeping. She had been there for some little time and had seen the moon come down every evening, and the old woman go out with her knife and carve her daily supple of meat out of the moon. As she was very frightened, she told the people all about it, so they determined to set a watch on the movements of the old woman. That very night, the moon came down as usual, and the old woman went out with her knife and basket to get her food. But before she could carve any meat, all the people rushed out shouting, and the moon was so frightened that she went back in the sky and never came down to earth again. The old woman was left to starve in the bush. Ever since that time, the moon has hidden herself most of the day as she was so frightened, and she still gets very thin once a month, but later on she gets fat again, and when she is quite fat, she gives plenty of light all the night. But this does not last very long as she begins to get thinner and thinner, in the same way as she did when the old woman was carving meat from her. Isn't that cute? I mean, it's not like cute, but it's a cute rendition of why the moon waxes and wanes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So apparently, I think the moral of the story from what I'm telling of these African folk tales is stay away from the bush, because that old woman died in the bush. The cheetah cubs were stolen when they're in the bush.
Bushes are bad.
Bushes are bad. Stay out of bushes. Do you remember when we found an armadillo in your bush? We were looking, one of our friends got, we were having people over at your house in Avalon, and one of our friends got quite intoxicated and was laying down in a bush near armadillo.
And we would yell, armadillo.
That was so weird.
Okay, so stay away from bushes. Don't have 3 cubs.
Mm-hmm. And I think that's about it.
No, don't have random little girls sleeping on your couch.
Oh, who will narc on you?
Yeah, they'll rat you out.
She totally ratted you out. Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the last one. It's called King of the Birds, and this is Zulu again. Oh, I'm sorry. This one's actually the longest. Gogo. Thobika was the first to break the silence around the fire this night. Gogo looked at the most inquisitive of her grandchildren with a broad smile. Yes, my dear one, she answered. Gogo, which I think is just so cute to call, like, it's like Lola, but Gogo. Mm-hmm. I know that the mighty lion, Bubesi, is king of all the animals. Is he also king of all the birds? Ah, that is an interesting question. The children sensed the story coming and drew even closer. You're right when you say that the lion is king of all the animals. And as for the birds, well, I'll have to tell you about the time they decided to have a leader of their own. And then there's a phrase, and I don't even want Kwasuka.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
I just did it. Done. Undoubtedly.
That was undoubtedly the worst attempts at saying that, whatever it was.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So sometime after the creator had finished making the beasts of the sea, land, and sky, as he was busy putting the finishing touches on his work created by creating people, the great fish eagle called a meeting of all the birds, and they came from the flamingo to the weaver, from the warbler to the owl. They came. Nazwaki began by clearing his throat. The chatter died down. I don't know why I'm making motions. The chatter died down as everyone turned their gaze on the magnificent eagle. I have asked all of you to be here for an important reason. As you all know, Lion is the king of the beasts of the land, but he hardly dares speak for us, the great winged creatures of the air. It is my suggestion that we choose from among our number a bird to be our sovereign leader. A ripple of chattering began again as the birds turned to one another to discuss the idea. Naxwazi cleared his throat again once more. He waited until he had the attention of all present. I am the most majestic and regal bird present. I suggest that I be king of the birds. And he was an eagle. A great deal of mumbling began from all corners of the gathering. Then one voice rose above the others, demanding attention. Yes, you are indeed majestic. It was a great giant owl. I'm sorry. It was a great giant owl speaking. However, I think that it is I who should be king of the winged animals. You see, I have the largest eyes of any of the birds. I can see everything that happens, and therefore I'm very wise. It is wisdom that we need in a leader more than stateliness. Again, a low murmur went around the crowd until a third voice demanded attention. I acknowledge the wisdom, Kova's wisdom, and Nawazi's regal bearing. However, I would propose that I be king of the birds. Cory Bustard Nagiti walked to the center of the circle as he spoke. I am the largest of all the winged kingdom. Certainly strength is an important factor in leadership. Oh, that was odd. All the birds began to speak at once. Some threw their support behind the eagle. Some believed the owl should be king, while others liked the Cory Bustard. Bustard? Bustard. It looks like custard, but with a B.
You're a bastard.
You bastardo. Bustard. I don't know. It's custard with a B. Finally, after I'm just going to reiterate that again.
One more time.
It's custard with a B.
Does it sound like mustard with a B?
It's also mustard with a B. Mustard. Okay. Finally, I'm so sorry that throat clear was right there. Finally, after a long period of arguing, a little voice was heard rising above the din. Excuse me, please. It was Naide. It has the phonetics behind it, but that just looks weird. Okay. The tiny Nadiki. What? That's the type of what?
I just like listening to you attempt to pronounce these things.
Well, the word is Ncede. And the phonetics behind it is Naede. Does that make sense? It does not make sense to me at all. Okay, so the tiny Nadiki, which is a small, quick-moving Southern African warbler. He was so small, and so I'm so sorry, significant looking that he was easily overlooked. Finally, the crowd became silent and allowed the little bird to say, if you're going to elect a king of the birds, well, I think it should be me. Everyone broke into laughter. Surely this miniature warbler was jesting. Naede, king of the birds? Unthinkable. Silly creature for even thinking it. What? The audacity of this little thing? What arrogance? What impudence? And what reason would you have for giving us or for having us elect you as our king? Asked Nozwaki, staring into Naede's eyes. Well, began Naede, no real reason, besides to say that I should be given every bit as much opportunity as anyone else. While they laughed at Naede's suggestion, the assembly was oppressed with the little fellow's courage. What we need is a competition, decided Nozaki. I keep changing that bird's name. I think I said it different all 5 times. It's the eagle. Decided the eagle.
Maybe you shouldn't say their names. Maybe you should just say the animal.
The eagle, the owl, and the Nadiki. Okay, I will. We will have a contest to see who's fit to be our king. Everyone seemed to like this idea. It was agreed that on the first day after the full moon, the birds would gather again.
Just snorted.
All right. What we need now is a competition, decided the eagle. We will have a contest to see who is fit to be our king. Everyone seemed to like this idea. It was agreed that on the first day after the full moon, the birds would gather again. They would meet on the open veld when the sun was high in the sky, and when the sun touched the tallest tip of the mountains, the birds would become airborne. The one who could fly the highest and touch the hand of God would become the king. On the appointed day, the birds assembled. Appointed day. Patiently, they watched the sun make her way down from the sky. At that exact moment, she touched the tallest peak of the mountain. The birds all rose into the air. It was a magnificent sight to see. So I'm assuming it's sunrise. Now, little...
What are you doing?
The little Nadiki was there. He had just as much right as everyone else to the kingship, but he knew that his little wings could not lift him very far. He had therefore made a very special plan. Just before the birds took off, Nadiki silently crept underneath the wings of the mighty fish eagle. He carefully pushed his way deep down into the raptor's largest feathers. The eagle was so busy concentrating on the descent of the sun, he didn't feel a thing. Higher and higher the bird soared. don't have the end of the story. Oh, wait, yes, I do. I'm so sorry. Higher and higher, the birds soared. The little ones fell out of the race after a short time. Slowly, they drifted back to the earth to watch the others. Soon, all but 3 of the birds had dropped out of the competition. The eagle, the owl, and the bustard, I forgot about him, fought to see who would claim the prize. They were so tired, but they pushed on and on, higher and higher. The strain was too much for the owl, and with a resigned whoo-hoo, he drove back toward firm ground. Now it was the eagle and the bustard. Up and up they went, closer and closer to the hand of God. But no matter how hard they tried, the feat was too much for the heavy bustard. After a final pull with his mighty wings, he called to the eagle, "Ah, my friend, it seems you are the winner. I can go no further." The confession seemed to temporarily strengthen the almost spent eagle. He gathered his last bit of strength and climbed beyond the bustard. Whee! Wee! The victorious sound of the eagle's call. That's the eagle's call. The victorious sound of the eagle's call filled the sky.
That is not what eagles sound
That
like.
is not how eagles sound. I have actually no idea what they sound like. Okay, so not so fast, eagle, chirped Nadiki, and he shot up from under one of the mighty bird's feathers. "You have not won yet." And with that, the Nadiki rose above the eagle to touch the hand of God. No matter how hard he tried, the eagle just didn't have the strength left to climb any farther. With a groan, he allowed himself to begin gliding back down to earth. Now all the birds below had watched this and were angered by the Nadiki's trickery. As Nadiki returned to the soil, he did not find the kingly welcome he expected. Instead, every bird in the kingdom was ready to pluck the feathers from his little back. But the quick little bird saw their anger and quickly flew into a deserted snake hole. "Come out, Nadiki," snapped the bustard. "Come and get the prize you deserve." "Yes," echoed all the other birds. "Come on, Nadiki. Where's your brave face now?" But Nadiki stayed hidden. The birds guarded the hole until long after sunset, waiting for Nadiki to show his face. All through the night they waited, thinking that Nadiki had to come out for food or water soon. In the morning, he had still not appeared. "Listen," said the eagle. "I am faint from hunger. We do all not need to guard the hole. I suggest we take turns until a little jokester decides to come out." Everyone agreed, most of them being terribly tired. "I am not yet weary or hungry," volunteered the owl. "I do not mind taking the first watch. Just mind that someone comes back in an hour or two to relieve me." A quick roster was drawn up, and everyone but Owl went off to sleep or hunt for food. Owl was used to being still and waiting for prey. He waited and waited, it seemed to him forever. Finally, he decided to close just one of his eyes. After all, he thought, even one of my eyes is bigger and can see better than both eyes on any bird. He closed his right eye and peered into the dark hole with his left eye. Several minutes later, Owl decided to switch, and so he opened the right eye and closed the left. This went on for quite a while until one time Owl forgot to open the right eye when he closed the left. There he was, both eyes closed, and he fell fast asleep. Now was the moment for which Nadiki had been waiting. Before the opportunity was lost, Nadiki shot out of the hole and disappeared into the forest. Eagle, who was on his way to relieve Owl, saw the little creature leave and cried out. He went to Owl and found the bird in a deep sleep. "Wake up, you fool!" he shouted at Owl. "You fell asleep and Nadiki got away." Well, Owl was so embarrassed by his mistake, to this day he sleeps during the day and does his hunting at night, so that none of the other birds will bother him about having been caught sleeping on the job. And Nadiki, he hides out in the forest, flittering from here to there, never stopping anywhere long enough to be caught. "So, Gogo," said Thobika, after several moments of silence had elapsed, "who then became the king of the birds?" "That, my child," Gogo looked at her granddaughter with a smile, "no one knows. I think they are arguing to this day about the position." So I picked that one because the overview was how it does not take a strong and mighty bird to become king. Like you can be smart and small and still become.
And a cheater.
Is it, or is it ingenuity?
He's cheating. He's catching a ride off of somebody else's work. So this one is from the Chippewa tribe, which is a
Wisconsin.
Tribe, yes, indigenous to Wisconsin. Okay, so this is called How the Bear Lost His Tail. And why are you squeaking?
Did bears used to have tails? I
Well,
mean, I know
listen.
they had that little Wait,
Nub?
no. That's just in Charmin commercials. Is that a real thing?
Yeah.
You read, I will do all the
Okay.
Googles.
This is by Jerry Smith. Long, long ago, there were only creatures on the earth. There were birds, bears, deer, mice, everything but people. In this long ago time, all the animals spoke the same language. And just like some people nowadays, they played tricks on one another and made each other laugh. They also helped each other. So it was with all the animals. One day in the winter, when the lakes had frozen, but before the winter sleep, Bear was walking along the lake shore. As he was walking, he came upon Otter sitting next to a hole on the ice with a pile of fish. "You've got a mighty big pile of fish there," Bear said. "How did you get them fish?" Instead of what?
How did you get them, fish?
Did I say it funny or you're laughing at what Bear said?
No, you said it funny.
Oh,
How did you get them, fish?
sorry. Instead of telling how he dove down into the water and caught the fish, Otter decided to trick Bear. You see, back then, Bear had a very long, bushy tail. He was very proud of his tail, and all the animals knew it. "The way I catch my fish is by putting my tail in this ice hole," Otter explained. "I wiggle it around once in a while so the fish see it. When a fish bites onto my tail, I quickly pull it up and out of the water." "That sure is an easy way to catch fish," Bear said. "Do you mind if I use your fishing hole?" Otter, laughing behind the bear's back, said, "I have enough fish. Use my fishing hole as long as you like." Then Otter picked up his fish and walked away. Bear carefully poked his tail into the ice hole and waited. He waited and waited. Once in a while, he'd wiggle his tail so the fish could see it. Bear waited until the sun began to set, but not one fish even nibbled at his tail. At last, he decided to go home, but when he tried to stand up, his tail had frozen into the ice. He couldn't move.
Oh.
He pulled and pulled at his tail, but it was stuck tight. Finally, he pulled with all of his strength and ripped off half his tail. Now you know why the bear has a short tail. And remember, don't always believe what people tell you.
Especially otters.
Stay away from otters. Don't have 3 cubs. Don't let little girls sleep on your couch.
Don't go in the bushes.
Don't go in the bushes.
Don't hike or ride on an eagle.
Yeah.
So, yes, bears do have tails.
Yeah.
Some bears have a tail, but they cannot be seen unless you're looking at an x-ray of the skeleton. It's like a polar bear. I think you need an x-ray.
Do you?
That's what all the Googles just told me. I don't know that information.
Okay. So this is from the Comanche tribe, which is indigenous to Texas.
Tejas.
And this is called "A Skunk Outwits Coyote."
Deep in the heart. Nope, I did it wrong again.
Always. You always do it wrong.
I do.
Coyote was going along one day feeling very hungry when he met up with Skunk. "Hello, brother," Coyote greeted him. "You look hungry, and so am I. If I lead the way, will you join me in a trick to get something to eat?" "I will do whatever you propose," said Skunk. "A prairie dog village is just over that hill. You go over there and lie down and play dead. I'll come along later and say hi to the prairie dogs. Come, let us have a dance over the body of our dead enemy."
Wait, I have a question.
Huh?
Do skunks eat meat?
They might not. It might be the same thing as a monkey. I don't know. Yes, they do. Because they'll eat chickens.
Oh. Okay.
Skunk wondered how they would ever get anything to eat by playing dead and dancing. "Why should I do this?" he asked. "Go on," Coyote said. "Puff yourself up and play dead." Skunk went on to the prairie dog village and pretended to be dead. After a while, Coyote came along and saw several prairie dogs playing outside their holes. They were keeping a distance between themselves and Skunk. "Oh, look," cried Coyote. "Our enemy lies dead before us. Come, we will have a dance to celebrate. Let everyone come out and then stop up by the burrow house. Then what? This is not difficult words, and this is all English for me.
Did you say all English for you?
For me, yeah. I'm saying like your story didn't. Your story had different names.
I see what you mean. Okay.
Yeah, everyone else, this is not English. Is what we thought it meant.
Yes. For me, this is what I call
this is
English.
The rest of you folks. Let everyone come out and then stop up the burrow holes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. The foolish prairie dogs did just as he told them. Now, said Coyote, let us all stand in a big circle and dance with our eyes closed. If anyone opens his eyes to look, he will turn into something bad. As soon as the prairie dogs began dancing with their eyes closed, Coyote killed one of them. Well, now, he called out, let's all open our eyes. The prairie dogs did so and were surprised to see one lying dead. Oh dear, said Coyote. Look at this poor fellow. He opened his eyes and died. Now, all of you, close your eyes and dance again. Don't look, or you too will die. They began to dance once more, and one by one, Coyote drew them out of the dance circle and killed them. At last, one of the prairie dogs became suspicious and opened his eyes. Oh, Coyote is killing us, he cried, and all the survivors ran to unstop their holes and seek safety in the burrows. Skunk then stood up, laughing at how easily Coyote had worked his trick. He helped gather up some dry firewood, and they began roasting the prairie dogs that Coyote had killed. The cookie meat smelled so good that Coyote decided he wanted to eat the best of it himself. Let's run a race, he said. The one that wins will have his choice of the most delicious prairie dogs. No, replied Skunk. You are too swift. I'm a slow runner and can never beat you. Well, I will tie a rock to my foot, Coyote said. If you will tie on a big rock, I will race you. They decided to race around the bottom of the hill. While I am tying this rock to my foot, Coyote said, you go ahead. I'll give you a start and then catch you. Skunk began to run and was soon out of sight around the hill. Coyote tied a rock to his foot and followed, slowly at first, but he soon kicked the rock loose and doubled his speed. Along the way, however, Skunk had found a brush pile and he dashed in there and hid. As soon as he saw Coyote go racing past, Skunk turned back to the fire. He had raked all the roasted prairie dogs out of the coals except for two small bony ones that he did not want. Then he cut off the tails and stuck them back in the ashes and carried the meat away to the brush pile. Meanwhile, Coyote was still loping around the hill, confident that Skunk was running just ahead of him. As he hurried along, he said to himself, I wonder where that fool Skunk is. I did not know he could run so fast. He soon circled back to the cooking fire and saw the prairie dog's tail sticking out of the ashes. He seized one and it slipped out. He tried another one. Oh, but they are well cooked, he said. He tried another one. Then he suspected that something was wrong. Taking a stick, Coyote raked through the coals, but he only found the two bony prairie dogs that Skunk had rejected. Someone must have stolen our meat, he said, and then ate the two small tasteless ones. Skunk, who by this time had feasted on the delicious meat, had crept up to the top of the hill and was looking down at Coyote. As Coyote began searching all around to see who might have stolen meat, Skunk threw some prairie dog bones down upon him. Oh, I thought that was it. I was like, well, that's a crummy ending. Coyote glanced up and saw him. You took all the delicious prairie dogs, he cried. Give me some of them. No, Skunk answered. We ran a race for them. I beat you. I'm going to eat all of them. Coyote begged and begged for some of the delicious prairie dogs, but while he was still pleading, Skunk swallowed the last morsel of meat. He was a better trickster than Coyote.
So what's the moral of that story?
There isn't one. Don't eat prairie dogs. They don't taste good.
So fun facts from the Googles. I Googled, do skunks eat meat? They have included meat in their diet, with 90% of a skunk's diet consisting of meat treats. What a skunk eats will determine how long it lives and how healthy it will be. They eat snakes, insects, rodents, eggs, rabbits, fish, moles, reptiles, and nesting birds. So, everyone, those are our fables, folklores, folk tales from
The crypt.
I love the Crypt Master. I don't know if he was supposed to be scary, but I actually enjoyed him.
Because you're weird.
I'm not. I'm actually so.
He was funny, wasn't he?
He was funny.
Okay. Hey, well, thank you for hanging out with us and listening to all these stories and listening to Jessica fumble through
Oh goodness,
the English language.
that was African. So as you can tell,
Undoubtedly is African. Birds.
Seeing it written out in black and white, it just looks different. Do you remember
Pathways of Water? All of these things are English.
Okay, Pathways of Water. I actually did describe it correctly. I just used the wrong nomenclature.
You just forgot the word river.
Well, no, because it was like I think it was like a strait almost, like between two bays or like an ocean and a bay, ocean and a sea. So it was literally a pathway of water. Shush. Sometimes, whatever. It's okay. Thanks for listening to us, friends.
Yes, thank you. And I think, do we know what we're doing?
No, actually, we have no plans for this month. So be prepared for anything, I guess.
Oh, Kara wants to do the thing.
Oh, that's right. Oh.
The thing.
Not Kara. This was Ingrid's idea.
Well, no, it was actually Jimmy Fallon's idea.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, okay, so maybe. Oh, we were going to do another How Did I Not Die?
Oh, yes, we are. So
Let's
if anyone wants to write in with their personal How Did I Not Die, or like I did something really stupid and I should be dead, kind of How Did I Not Die, or
miraculously I did not die.
Yes. And then we'll do some historical with that. Yeah. Was that the plan?
Well, I guess mine's historical because it didn't happen like now, but I have a story in mind that I want to use.
Do you really already?
Yeah.
Oh gosh. Oh, okay. This is a sister God gave me.
I mean, he can't bless everybody as well as he has blessed you.
Is that what that is? This is a blessing?
Yes.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right.
Or you're enduring the sins of your father. With me.
I actually thought of him when I was mispronouncing stuff. Do you remember how he said he mispronounced zebra?
Zebra?
Yeah.
Zebra.
The zebra. Excuse me. Steven, what did you just say?
And he will never know that we're even talking about him because he doesn't listen.
Boop, boop, boop.
Oh, I did want to say, sorry. Did I scare you? Did I wake you up?
All the above.
Okay. So once again, we're at over 2,000 downloads, guys. Thank you so much. Continue to subscribe, follow, tell people about it. But I wanted to give an update on Hetty. She is home from rehab. She's fighting through that left-sided paralysis, but there is a fundraiser going on for her, and it's through Eagle Promotions and Apparel. They are accepting orders there's quite a variety of top body attire. So there's like tank tops, crop tops, sweatshirts, t-shirts,
top body attire. Is that the link you sent me? Can you resend it? Can you post it on our Facebook?
I did.
Oh, okay. I meant this was recorded before you did, right? No.
So yes, if you're interested in purchasing, oh no, now who's having problems with English? If you're interested in purchasing something that all the proceeds are going to help out Hetty, check out our Facebook page. Another Situation. And the link is there. If you are not on Facebook, and I will try to see if I can figure out how to get that link posted on her profile page on our webpage. So she does have a guest profile there, and I will see if I can get that on there. If none of those if neither of those options work, then you want to order something, just reach out to us and we will help you get an order in.
Mm-hmm.
But it closes on July 28th, so you all have a week. What was that? Was that his dog?
That's Reggie. That's my dog.
So if you would like to order that upper body apparel, the oh my gosh, what's the word?
Website link? The
link, yes.
Oh my gosh. I'm rubbing off on you.
I guess. Headstrong, HEDSTRONG.item order, ITEMORDER.com.
Okay.
So again,
Helmsworth?
Ooh, yes.
Should we talk about no, we don't need to talk about that.
About what?
Blackbird.
Oh, guys, if you haven't watched Blackbird,
watch Blackbird.
God, watch Blackbird.
So freaking good.
So good. And holy Taryn.
Okay, so Headstrong. Support Hetty.
Yes, headstrong.itemorder.com.
She's an amazing person.
Yes. And this is there because her friends and loved ones have insisted something be done. Again, Jody, thank you. Anyone who's in the area around Jody, go check out her Jay's Serenity Spa.
Ooh, what?
Yes. Mm-hmm. I'm sending Mom there when she gets back up.
I didn't know she had that. That's cool. Thanks for listening, everybody. We love you. We'll be back for a little bit. I don't know. I really enjoyed that break.
Thank you guys for listening.
Good night. Good luck. What?
Good riddance.
No, seriously though, guys. Thanks again. And
be happy. Be helpful. Don't be a nadicky.
Don't be a nadicky. No one likes a nadicky.
Okay.
Bye. If you would like to reach out to us or submit your situation, please contact us at anothersituationpodcast@gmail.com or find us on Instagram at Another Situation Podcast. We're also on Facebook at Another Situation.
Another Situation is produced and edited by Point 5 Pinoy. Music is written and performed by Tim Crow.